So it looks like the game was dissing Kendrick the whole time. Now, there's some people who are still like, I don't know if game is dissing Kendrick. I don't know. Now, shout out to Top 5 Troy, because he put together a video where he found, I guess, all the disses from the game's The Documentary 3 to Kendrick Lamar. And I think this is a very important video, and I was waiting for somebody to do something like this for all the people who might not understand or might not have the time to listen to the whole album. But
this is every Kendrick diss on this new Game album.
I ain't got no problem with the boogeyman, and he ain't got a problem with me, cause I'm the LA Monster.
So that's from the song LA Monster. Game starts off by saying that he doesn't have a problem with the boogeyman. I mean, the boogeyman, this is pretty much Kendrick's nickname now. So he's directly addressing Kendrick by his most popular nickname, the boogeyman. And he starts off by saying, I don't have a problem with him, and he doesn't have a problem with me. I mean, so this seems fine at face value, but how are you going to say that he doesn't have a problem with you when it was already reported by the CEO?
Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Stat Quo. You know what I mean? The homie
of TDE. Top Dog said not only does Kendrick have a problem with the game, there are other people around that camp who have a problem with the game for various reasons. So it kind of seems like Game is colliding with their points, kind of trying to shut him down. Like, yo, he doesn't have a problem with me. He has no reason to have a problem with me, no matter what y'all say. And then to put the cherry on top, there's this kind of like sample or interpolation that says, I'm an LA monster.
I'm the LA Monster.
I mean, so when you combine all this together, it just comes off as Game saying, I don't have a problem with Kendrick, and he really shouldn't want to have a problem with me because I'm like a monster. I'm on this track or otherwise, like I'm an LA monster. He doesn't want these issues. I mean,
now, see, this is important. This is why I wanted to react to this video and give him his props, because would you still believe that? And I go like lyrical comprehension, I guess, is the reason why I guess our jobs are kind of important. Sometimes I just be giving my opinion on what's going on. But it's like when I react to something or break something down, I guess there are people who genuinely, like, that skill is like not as inherent as I thought it was to everybody. That's more learned, and maybe like my whole life being in hip hop has made me learn that, and being a rapper has made me learn that. So I want people to pay attention to how something gets broken down. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you is entertainers in general, especially the biggest famous ones, they lie. They're going to lie to you. They want to have their cake and eat it too. They're going to show you something in your hand right here. You show you in your face and then tell you you're not seeing what they're showing you, because they want to control the result of what's going on. You feel me? Oh, and I got to say this before we go any further. Hip-hop is a sport tournament. Day one is done. Epic day. One Take Timmy won the day one. Now, day two is tomorrow. That is, Tuesday. It'll start at 5 o'clock Eastern, and there are no more submissions. Submissions are closed. No more. Do not send any more. The only people who will be able to submit are the people who are already in the competition and they don't make it. And if I give them a chance to resubmit, the polling is closed. No more of that. Shout out to everybody who submitted. It's going to be like 6 days of this. So lock in. Stay tuned. All right, talk your talk, because I haven't even listened to the album yet, so I haven't caught, but I've heard about all these. I knew about that one too.
That's just what it comes off as to me. Hey y'all, I am a one-man show. I record, edit the video myself, create the thumbnail, everything. So hitting like and subscribe does help a bunch. Thanks so much. Back to the video.
You can next the boy who the man is. Shit gets scandalous.
Okay, so you might look at me and say, hey, I don't look at that as a diss. He's not dissing Kendrick there. Okay, cool. But then Game goes on in the next bar and pretty much shouts out Drake.
You can next the boy who the man is.
In the literal next bar, he says, you can ask the boy who the man is. He calls Drake by his most popular nickname, the boy. So he's addressing Kendrick and Drake by their nicknames here. He says, you can ask the boy who the man is. Like, yo, it gets scandalous. He knows what I do. He knows how I get down. I get scandalous. Kendrick don't want these problems. I don't have an issue with him. He shouldn't want one with me. I'm an LA monster. So when we start adding context, it just starts looking a little bit, as Game says, scandalous.
This is the part. He said a great word that I feel like has been lost in the talking, the breaking down, or anything of hip hop. Context. context. There are context clues. People, especially like some of the game, is rapping about his life, rapping about what's going on. So you have to use things in context to what is going on currently in that person's life. Something might mean something different in one era of somebody's life than it means in the other era, right? Michael Jackson's bad might not mean the same thing after the Michael. You feel what I'm saying? How two things can mean something different completely in different times. So now, right here, I don't think there's any big shots to Kendrick yet. There's call outs, there's setting the tone, but why I wanted to point this out is when you listen to that No Break song, the reason why it is a direct diss or a direct I'm with Drake is the context of what's going on. The context of people asking about his relationship with Drake and Kendrick and how he then plays that out in that song. When he said, niggas told me choose a side, I pick homicide. Who exactly was the people who told him to choose a side? I'm just saying. Pay attention. They can't gaslight you if you got the water gun. That's all I'm saying. If you got the water, you
Try to rose today.
and don't, someone like Game especially is a lyricist. He knows what he's doing, bro. He knows what he's doing. Anyway.
It starts looking a little bit, as Game says, scandalous.
Might try to rose today. The GNX scare the hoes away.
About 2 bars.
And that is, to me, I don't understand, to the people who are keep saying like, is the Game dissing Kendrick? I go, because I saw that lyric too, and I went, what, there is no way, I need to ISO cam this. There is no way lyrical comprehension has got so bad that people hear this, can read this and go, I mean, what does he mean by that? I mean, so you think he literally means the car, the G and X, scares the... And you don't put that with the context of that's what the Drake side of people be trying to say about Kendrick? This is the most blatant shot. That's a blatant diss to Kendrick. So okay.
Later,
Let me let you talk. My bad, guys.
Game goes on to say, I might drive my Rolls today. He's citing a Rolls Royce because the GNX scares the hoes away. Everything I've mentioned so far, you got in the span of about 4 or 5 bars. Game is saying song. GNX scares the hoes away because it's a LA monster.
Cause it's a LA monster.
He's citing the car GNX Grand National. I mean, so one way you could look at this is by saying, hey, the GNX is so nice. It's such a nice car. The engine's so loud, it's a monster, it's a LA monster, it scares the chicks away. And I mean, that's really being favorable as possible.
You saw me, I was about to.
When in reality, when anyone hears this bar though, what they're gonna hear is GNX scares the hoes away. He's talking about Kendrick, who gets the label of being a conscious rapper. We know a popular thing we say about conscious rappers, if you're not rapping about money,
Is it from Canada?
Jews,
That ting slid in there.
women, drugs, drug dealing. Basically, you making music that's scaring the chicks. Chicks don't listen to you. They don't want to hear that. I mean, this is kind of something that Drake kind of echoes in that diss record that got Kendrick mad in the first place. He says like, yo, I've been to the club and I've seen how people react, how chicks react when they play the competition.
It's the same thing with twerking on stage with a dictionary. It's the same thing that, yeah, these are shots, bro.
And they don't even really play the competition. So yeah, saying that GNX scares the hoes away, this is very obviously a shot at Kendrick.
You acting so.
And you gotta also think of when a rapper drops something. If he has some astrological meaning to a lyric that the layman won't understand, if everybody comprehends it as one way, it is that like it. That's what it means. Like you can't go then. I can't say like I hate bald people in a lyric and be like, nah, in my world, bald really means hair. So if you look, because in a parallel universe, there's like, there might be somewhere where bald is considered hair. See how my camera says shut up, nigga. But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, no, nigga, we know what you mean by that, brother. If you don't want people to take it like that, don't say it. There's also the option to not say GNX scares the hoes away. I mean, you don't have to. I swear you don't. If you don't want things to think you're saying GNX scares the hoes away, you know what you don't do? Say GNX scares the hoes away. That's that gaslight. I didn't say nothing about Kendrick. Like, because you know that metaphors are, and as rappers, we talk with metaphors and double language and figurative language. It really becomes like, you use that predatorily when you start going, no, even though you know it's metaphorically, we know what you're talking about. No, we only saying, if I say I up the can and pop you like a soda, and someone says, oh, you gonna shoot somebody? It's like, nah, I'm drinking Sprite. It's like, come the fuck on, bro.
You acting so aggressive for everybody questionable. Red nigga better let it go. Turn me to an Eskimo. Turn a nigga to a vegetable. I drew the line in decimal.
I also want to point out that after Game does this little pot shot at Kendrick, he then goes on to take one of Kendrick's flows from Whacked Out Murals and performs that flow after he disses Kendrick. I'm not sure how many people caught that, but I'll listen to GNX enough times to know all the flows there.
Say Drake the homie, y'all say it's treason. Want me to pick sides while y'all dick ride? Me against all odds, I'll pop the steering column on the GNX and wait for niggas.
Okay, so
wow. I didn't even, shout out to this. I don't know how you might feel about Top 5 Troy. I think I've seen like, I'm not even 100% sure if this is the person I think it is, but regardless, if someone puts out something like this is good content. This is good, whatever. So he put together, and he's catching things. And this is what I like about hip hop, man. It don't gotta be like a sides thing. It don't gotta be a whatever thing. But it's just, I'm not. That's just be funny. But I just think like, this is the video. I don't see anybody else who's really doing this and catching them.
To know all the flows there.
Say Drake the homie, y'all say it's treason.
Say Drake the homie, y'all say it's treason. Want me to pick sides while y'all dick ride. Come on. When you're from the West Side, you ain't gotta pick sides. What? When you from G Unit, you don't gotta pick sides. When you are, that's what you told Yuck Mouth. That's the same thing you told Yuck Mouth. Bruh. And then when you got beef, you be wanting niggas to be picking sides. It's only time for you. Game be acting like, I just be knowing too much about Game's career. That's what it is. When Game, it's G not. He want niggas to be anti-50. He don't want to rock with niggas that rock with 50. He want to go against 50. But when it's, I don't want to pick sides. Like, what are we doing, bro? You like.
Want me to pick sides while y'all dick ride? Me against all odds, I'll pop the steering column.
Put that on God. It's me against all odds. I'll pop the steering column on the GNX and wait for niggas. Like, how do y'all hear this and question if he's I'll pop the steering column on the GNX, which is the. By the way, when he's saying GNX, let me just help y'all. It's a caricature of Kendrick. You can just switch that with Kendrick, right? And when he's saying, I'll pop the steering column on the GNX and wait for niggas, is he'll saying he'll damage, he'll break. Even I'll pop the steering column and wait for y'all to do something about it. That's what he's saying. I'll violate and wait y'all to do something. That's a shot, bro. That's a shot, man. Okay, one of 50 Cent's nicknames is, but I never heard anybody but 50 call himself. This was 50, aka Ferrari F50, right? Let's just say that was a better known nickname of his, right? It was just the first car one I could think of, right? And say I said, man, and I got people think I got issues with 50. I said, man, F that. Ferrari, I put holes in that whip. F that F50 with the Ferrari, I put holes in that, and I keep mentioning the Ferrari F50. I'm shooting at 50 Cent, bro. I wish I could have thought of someone off the top of my head who has like a car nickname, but that's the one I could think of, bro.
on the GNX and wait for niggas.
Okay, so these next bars are from the intro to documentary 3 titled Jesus. Game says, I'll pop the steering column on the GNX and wait for dudes. None of these rappers was talking about GNXs before Kendrick dropped the GNX album.
That's
like
a fact.
Very few of them. So any reference to GNX is going to be taken as you're talking about Kendrick, right? And considering the context that we talked about earlier, I think we all understand that Game is talking about Kendrick here. He said, I popped the steering column.
Otherwise, it would be too. It would just be random. Like, stop. Like, come on. We still doing this?
On a GNX, which is not really super derogatory, is it? But this is like the
It is. I don't think top 5 Troy. He's saying, I will violate that car, which is supposed to be the amalgam of Kendrick. I will break. He's either saying, I will steal, because when you pop the steering column on a nigga shit, it's like you're trying to steal the shit. I will take that and I'll wait for niggas. He said, I'll violate and then wait for y'all to do something. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. I damage that whip, then with y'all. I'd steal that car, come to, and wait for y'all to come do something about it. That's what he's saying.
The same type of diss that Drake was doing on Family Matters.
Good kid, Mad City van, we'll pop the latch and make the door slide.
Good kid, Mad City van, I'll pop the latch and make the door slide. I mean,
I like that lyric.
He's just talking
I love that lyric. Y'all could, whatever. I love that lyric. I love it.
about using a car. Like, I'm popping the latch on the door and I'm, letting it slide. But really, it's a much more nefarious thing that he's saying. He's taking something that's considered a staple to Kendrick and actively manipulating it, changing it, popping a latch, making the door slide.
And what top 5 Troy is not getting is he's saying, I will pull a drive-by in the GNX. He's not just saying, that's what I'm saying, man. He's missing a few things. That's why I'm here. He's not, when he says, I'll pop hit the doors and let the doors slide, what he's saying, he's going to slide on you, slide the doors on this, and it's the same thing Kendrick said in, was it Mad City? Load the van with 4 guns at a time with the sliding door. Fuck is up. You're saying he's gonna shoot Kendrick, is what he's saying.
Popping his steering column on a GNX. Like, if
Top 5 Troy is missing like the gun bars and the like the more violent references about popping the steering column or sliding the door on the GNX.
If you see what Game's doing here, you see what he's doing here.
Say Drake the homie, y'all say it's treason.
And a couple bars before this, Game does something that he did on the first song that we talked about. So before Game takes this little pot shot at Kendrick, he says,
Say Drake the homie, y'all say it's treason.
Drake's the homie, y'all say it's treason. Y'all want me to pick sides because y'all dick ride. I'm from the west side, you ain't gotta pick sides. Which, at its core, I agree with what he's saying. He does not have to pick a side. If he's cooler with Drake than he is with Kendrick, I mean, who cares? Why should he be penalized for that? But when you take the Drake shout out,
top 5 gotta be. He got it. He Canadian for sure. and you know what? And maybe it's the if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But maybe it's the Americanism in me. But it's like, nah, that's not how that works. That's not how that works at all, nigga. Especially not where Game is from, not where Kendrick is from, especially not with how Game move, especially with the affiliations niggas be having. That's not how that works. That's not how that works, nigga.
And then a couple bars later, you're talking about, popping a steering column on a GNX and waiting for niggas.
But as Top 5 is saying, that is the way it should be. If this was a Disney Channel movie, if everything was, if everybody was, that's why I say Canadians is nice as hell, man. I love me some Canadians, man. Nice ass niggas.
Like, obviously,
watch me be wrong and this nigga from like Chicago.
This is a shot at Kendrick, man. Like, how this is going to be looked at, and Game doesn't seem to care how it's going to look.
They say I'm beefing with Kendrick, how the fuck do that sound?
So Game, in his typical bipolar fashion,
exactly.
After these disses that he's done all throughout this album, he goes on to say, like, yo, y'all saying I'm beefing with Kendrick. Like, how do that sound? I mean,
Black Slim Shady all over again.
It sounds pretty plausible, my guy. You're talking about popping a steering column on a GNX, taking it for a joyride. You talking about, the GNX scaring the hoes away. You doing Kendrick flows right after shouting out Drake on a song. Game is a smart enough and a very well-seasoned battle rapper to know what he's doing here.
And too good of nothing that I have said about Game is taken away from his pen, by the way. Yeah, y'all could be mad about that. Game is a rapper, nigga. And when he battles shit, he pins shit to the ground. Have I seen him lose a battle yet? He took the entire G Unit on and systematically wham, 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 wham. Who else did he battle? I mean, Meek Mill didn't fire back. Eminem didn't really. We can't really count that. That shit was. Ugh. I don't know if he's had like an official battle that even Yuck Mouth. He smoked Yuck Mouth. Now it wasn't fair because he kind of played a little Oli Wapti on him, but still.
Also another song where people said Game was dissing Kendrick called No Breaks. I think it would be ill if Drake had a verse on there. People are wanting this to be a diss record. I didn't hear any disses on Game's side. Again, all I heard Game was solidified. The fact that he's not taking any side but his own. They told me pick a side, I picked homicide. But there are people who want this to be a diss record, perhaps to Kendrick Lamar. I'm not sure why Drake fans or OVO people would want Drake to continue this, throwing shots in the dark at Kendrick. We saw
It's a shot. It's a diss.
all what happened last time. It's a song that features Drake. I actually didn't hear any disses to Kendrick on that song from Game, so I don't even count that as one of the Kendrick.
Yeah, just watch my reaction to that. There's disses all through it. The whole thing, it's the contextual thing too of saying I'm choose violence over choosing sides. They told me choose sides. I'm not choosing sides. And the whole concept being that I'm riding with Drake is him being clever and saying that me, Drake, and Drake, the three amigos. It's not me, Drake, and Kendrick. It's not the da-da-da-da. When you put that with the context of the other shots in the album, then yes, you're absolutely doing it. Now, just put this in like the Tupac Biggie situation, right? No, put this like Eminem MGK. Let's make it even less violent situation, right? Let's make it Eminem MGK. Now say Bizarre chooses MGK side. Bizarre from D12, right? Say Bizarre has a song where MGK is dissing Eminem on it. Then say he gets called out for that. He doesn't get to come to the D12 reunion. He doesn't come. All that happens, right? This is all hypothetical, right? Say it rebubbles up after there's the whole real MGK Eminem battle happens, right? Then say the next Bizarre album, right? After people be like, Eminem got a problem with Bizarre, D12 ain't messing with him. He need to pick the right side. Then say he drops a song and it's called With the Gunner, right? And then he has an MGK sample on it. And the whole song is him talking about, I'm with the gunner. They told me to pick a side. I'm with the gunner. And I got the machine guns. I'm with the gunner. You got to use your context to go, he's definitely not saying that he's with Eminem. Right? You would get it in that context, right? You would get like, and then if they're in the song, yeah, like he says, they told me to choose a side. He goes, and when it's me and the gunner, me and Kels, and you're going to go, bro, we know what you're doing. Especially if in that album, he goes, I don't eat M&Ms because the hoes don't like them. What would you do? Would you then go, yeah, that's probably a diss too, right? So I don't know why people are acting like they don't see that one. And that's that. If you can see these other ones, it's like, it don't got to be, they asked me to choose a side. I'm choosing homicide. It's like I'm picking violence.
Kendrick disses on this album. And yeah, that's it. Those are the Kendrick disses on docu.
Okay, so you can watch the rest of his video. I agree with most of it, except for that very end. Shout out to him for actually listening to the album and picking out those things. I'm thinking about reacting to the album too, because there might be some, if he didn't catch the No Breaks, there's definitely probably some that he didn't catch. So, and just for the sake of people telling, but then I saw it's 24 songs long, and god damn. Now you can go watch the beginning. I skipped the beginning of his video because we already covered most of it. You can go watch the rest of the beginning of his video, and he has a whole conclusion about him feeling about, does Kendrick need to respond? Now, go check him out. Top 5 Troy. Good little accumulation of those disses, man.